Hi, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Let me introduce myself first. I'm Li Zhang, and I'm studying for a master's degree at the School of Languages and Communication Studies of Beijing Jiaotong University, China. Professor He is my tutor. She has a broad research field, including pragmatics, social linguistics, translation, and etc.
My purpose today is to give a detailed analysis of the self-repair in Chinese doctor-patient communication, to explore how the doctors and patients achieve mutual understanding by using self-repair strategy in their speaking, hearing, and understanding. And here is a preview of this presentation. This paper analyzes self-repair applied in the process of doctor-patient communication in primary hospital, based on the data collected from real medical situation. This study presents a detailed analysis of the application of the purpose of self-repair used in a symptom in communication between doctors and patients, different from the conclusion drawn by previous studies, which were conducted in top hospitals. This study reveals that doctors are more likely to use self-repair than patients in primary hospital. And this paper also analyzes the purpose of doctors and patients using repair in their communication. The analysis indicates that they adopt repair strategy, meaning for emphasis, for explanation, for topic change, or for a precise description, etc., to have a better communication, so that they can achieve mutual understanding. And I'm going to show you from these 5 parts. To begin with, I will be speaking about research background and research significance. Then, I will introduce my research design. Next, I'd like to show you a brief introduction about repair strategy. After that, data analysis will be presented. And finally, it's the last part. That is my conclusion part.
Now let's move to the first part of my talk, which is about research background and research significance. Research background will be taught from 2 aspects.
The first is the tense doctor-patient relationship in China. According to a report, the average frequency of violent medical events happened in each hospital has reached 27 times per year, and 66% doctors have suffered doctor-patient conflicts, 51% of which were verbal conflicts. So, the tense doctor-patient relations has been an important social problem in China. The second is about the poor doctor-patient communication. Because of the asymmetric distribution of power, such as knowledge, information, etc., and the lack of effective communication strategies, 2/3 of doctor-patient conflicts were caused by poor communication. So, conversation analysis has been regarded as the most valid method to study doctor-patient communication.
Then it's about research significance. It contains theoretical significance and practical significance. As for theoretical significance,
this research enriches relevant studies. The analysis of repair in the field of doctor-patient communication is a new start in China, and at present, repair studies in this field are limited, so this study can provide some new corpus for the existing research of repair. And as from the practical aspect, this study reviews repair mechanism in the process of doctor-patient communication. Conversational repair shows the process how people handle with problems in speaking, in hearing, or in their understanding. So this study figures out the purpose and the role that repair played in doctor-patient communication. Then is the research question of this study. This study aims to answer the following three questions. The first is whether the conclusion that patients are more likely to use repair strategies than doctors in top hospitals that was concluded in previous studies, whether this conclusion is equally well applied to the situation in primary hospitals. And the second question is, if not, what kinds of reasons lead to this result? And the last question is, what are the purposes that both doctor and patient would apply repair strategy in their communication? And what enlightenment does it have to real doctor-patient communication? That's to say, what kind of advice can be provided for the real communication.
Then is the second part of my talk, that is research design of my study. I will give a brief introduction about the selection of research direction and my transcription conventions.
In the process of selection of research direction, the first step is to choose the target hospital as the place to collect data. Before deciding the hospital chosen in this study, I've gone to 6 hospitals to make a comprehensive observation, which includes 2 top hospitals, 2 county hospitals, and 2 village clinics, taking into several factors into consideration, such as patient flow, such as the location of hospitals, etc. And I also did a lot of literature review about doctor-patient communication. Finally, I decided to choose this hospital as the source to collect my corpus. So then, I negotiated with the hospital and the doctors, told them about my plan, and promised that the data would be only used for the scientific research. Then is the second step. The second step is to determine my research object. After the negotiation with the hospital, I then went to the hospital to start collecting doctor-patient communication in real situation with a recorder. And the period for data collection lasted 2 weeks. Then, I made a transcription of these recordings. During the process of transcription, I noticed communicative features, that is, the use of repair strategy in the process of doctor-patient communication. So, finally, this study focuses on repair. And here are the transcription conventions, some markers I have used in the process of my transcription, and the red line are the meaning these markers bear in this study.
Next is the third part. In this part, I'm going to give you a brief introduction about repair. I will introduce it from its definition, its types, its structure. I will mainly introduce it from these 3 aspects.
This term repair was first put forward by Shigalov in 1977, and he distinguished the differences between the term correction and the term repair. According to him, correction refers to the substitution of an error or a mistake, where repair sometimes occurs where there is no fault or no error. And they hold that repair generally have 4 types. The first type is self-initiation, self-repair. And the second type is self-initiation, other repair. The third is other initiation, self-repair. And the last is other initiation and other repair. Based on their empirical studies on large language material, they found that self-initiation occurs more than other initiation, and self-repair occurs more than other repair. And they hold that the structure of repair consists of 3 parts, including trouble source, the initiation of repair, and the completion of repair. Repair is an important mechanism of human communication. So, this is the brief introduction of repair strategy. And then is the first part of this presentation, data analysis. In this part, I will show you 2 tables. The first table is about the frequency of repair initiated by doctors and patients respectively. And the second is to classify the types of purpose of using repair strategy in the process of doctor-patient communication. Now, the first table. This table mainly presents the frequency of repair that doctors and patients use respectively in their communication. It is obviously to notice that this study has 170 repair samples, and among which doctors initiated repair 100 times, while patients just initiated repair 17 times. That's to say, doctors in primary hospitals prefer to use repair to let themselves be easier to be understood by their patients. And then is the second table. The second table shows the classification of purpose of using repair. According to the data analysis, both doctors and patients apply repair strategy in their communication, mainly for a precise description, and then is for making an explanation of their words. Next is for stress, to make the listener know it is something important to notice. And last is for changing topic. Sometimes when the doctor and patients are off topic, repair strategy can help them come back to the point. Finally is the conclusion part. In this part, I will mainly present it from major findings and reasons analysis. This study mainly has 2 findings. The first is in primary hospitals, doctors prefer to use self-repair than patients, which is different from the conclusion drawn by previous studies in K hospitals. And the second is doctors and patients usually apply self-repair for a precise description, for an explanation, or for emphasis, or for changing topic, etc., to have a better communication so that they can achieve mutual understanding with each other. And then is the analysis of reasons that caused these results. The first is doctors in primary hospitals generally have more time to contact with patients compared with those doctors who in top hospitals. And the second is, overall, patients are less educated compared with those key hospitals, so doctors have to explain more to let themselves be understood. So the doctors in primary hospitals are more likely to use self-repair to help patients listen clearly. But this study also has some limitations, such as the data collected are not enough. That's to say, the corpus need to be expanded, and the reasons need to be discussed in a further study in detail. Repair study in doctor-patient communication is noteworthy, and here are some references to which have been referred in this research. And last is something about my contact information. So that's all of my talk. Thanks.